Sanman Mzansi, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Meti Girl Majosi. Welcome back to another exciting episode here on Talkback Mzansi, a show that aims to empower all South Africans. Be sure to check us out on all social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook as Talkback Mzansi. You can find us on Instagram at Talkback_Mzansi, or you can just send us an email, talkbackmzansi@gmail.com. Be sure to check out all our interviews on YouTube at Yebo TV. So, if you are sitting at home and you are feeling heartbroken, hopeless, or lacking purpose, stay tuned because today's guest speaker is an author. She's a publisher, a life coach, and a public speaker. Please help me welcome Miss Nelie Shozana. Nelie, welcome to Talkback Mzansi.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm excited.
Well, we are honored to have you today.
It's also my honor to be here.
Well, I guess we're going to have a good time. And
Yeah.
by the way.
Thank
You're
you.
looking stunning.
No
Happy
more,
Sunday.
okay? Thank you. Happy Sunday to you too.
Well, let's just get straight into it. For ababukeli bethu abangamazi uMiss Nelie Shozana. Who is Nelie Shozana?
Nelie Shozana was born and bred in Pietermaritzburg, and now I reside here in Durban. Before I became an author, I worked in the military, Sosha, and there was 11 years in the Defense Force. Yes, I have written 7 books, and yeah.
Oh wow! Congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
achievements. Well, ngithanda ngoba when you introduced yourself, usitshenile ukuthi you were born and bred in Pietermaritzburg, and siyazi ukuthi isikhathi esiningi umuntu la ekhulele khona, it has a great impact kumuntu aba uyena. So
Yeah.
can you just share with us ukuthi ukhulele eMaritzburg kwakunjani and what impact did it have ekutheni ube ulo muntu obuye namhlanje?
My childhood wasn't that interesting. Njengengane nje, we used to play and yeah, but I would say into that had an impact kakhulu empilweni yami was an absent father. I think that's one thing that drove me ukuthi I ended up writing about relationships, because you know ukuthi as women, if you have an absent father, you end up looking for your father in every man that you meet. So that had a huge impact. Well, my mother was mostly away because she was working, and then I used to be with my grandmother. And then my grandmother passed away in 1999. And then that's when I got to know my mother. We used to call Uma usisi wama-Kellogg's. Yabo lo muntu onithengela ama-Kellogg's ofika ngekathi maye off. Yabo, that was the kind of a mother. But she was there for us because she provided. But she was fully there for us when my mother had passed.
Well, ngizwile ukuthi ukungabi khona kwababa had a great impact ekutheni uqala ukubhala.
Yeah.
Ungakwazi ukusinabela kulokho? Is that the only reason why you started writing?
No, my writing had everything to do with Ugowisha. I went through a lot, man-wise. So after that, I decided, let me write. But I knew Guti, my going through had to do with my absent father, you know, because I blamed him everywhere. Even in a place where it was my fault, I would say it was my father's fault. Yeah, but I realized that, you know, we go through stuff, but we choose how to react on whatever that we are going through. So we tend to make excuses, hence my first book, Dismissing Excuses. Which you can choose. You can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you react on it. And I wanted to show people with whatever that they are going through, they can choose on how to react on it. And they are not the only ones who are going through that. There are other people who are going through stuff.
Yeah,
we're all, exactly. We're all going through one thing, one way or the other.
So it's very nice. You are not the only one.
Exactly.
Who is going through what you are going through.
Yeah.
Yes, wathinta kancane about being in the military.
Yes.
Can you just tell us about that? Ukuthi wayithola kanjani usuyisosha? Wayithola kanjani and waphumelani?
Okay, ukuphuma. Ngizoqala ngequestion yokugcina. Ukuphuma ngaphuma because I wanted to pursue what I'm doing right now. I felt like I had reached the cylinder. Ukuyibona leyo nto ukuthi, you know what, I'm doing this, but I'm no longer enjoying it. And well, it was nice in the military, I don't want to lie. I got to travel, I got to experience different cultures, I got to experience independence because I was away from home most of the time. And I remember I told my mom, "Uthi, even if I can work in Pietermaritzburg, I'll never stay at home because I'm very independent. I don't see myself staying at home." So I would say the military taught me that, to be independent and yeah,
So,
and to shoot. Yeah, I can
so you
shoot.
left really?
Yes.
Do you own a gun?
No, I don't.
But you can shoot.
Yes,
A woman who can shoot is very powerful.
exactly.
Well, you talked about your first book. Can you talk about that?
Dismissing excuses. Yes.
That is the first book that you wrote. Can you just tell us more about that book?
Okay, like that book, every person makes an excuse. I didn't do this because of this. I didn't do that because of this, you know. And I've realized that we can make all the excuses that we want. You didn't do that because you didn't want to do it. So basically it says stop living a mediocre life. Yabo. Uguti, and making excuses for that. That book is basically about that. Uguti, what I went through, I had an emotional breakdown that lasted for 3 years. I could have made that as an excuse. Uguti, I'm not doing this and I'm not prospering in life because that happened to me. But I decided to dismiss those excuses and make something out of myself.
Oh wow, I'm very much inspired about that. Well, we know ukuthi mungena kwi-industry kuba
Yeah.
nama-challenges obhekana nawo usangena singakabheki obhekana nawo usuphakathi.
Yeah.
So ngenkathi ungena kwi-writing wakhipha ibhuku lakho lokuqala, what are some of the challenges owabhekana nawo ukhipha ibhuku lakho lokuqala ungena nje kwi-industry, more especially njengoba umuntu wesifazane?
Oh, financially or just in general?
In general.
I would say this thing Yokbala has taught me ukuthi we always wait for the departments or the government to do things for us or to give us money or to recognize us. So when I first got in, I applied for sponsorships and stuff like that, you know, because we were promoted to read and write. And then when I'd written a book, I thought, okay, first of all, all of my friends are going to buy my books. And then secondly, my family is going to, okay, my family is very supportive. But at first they couldn't understand, why did you resign just to become a writer, you know? Like, you know, back then they thought Dokbala was only for white people or other races, except for black people. So I had those challenges because, you know, people thought, Haibo, you are crazy. And another thing, yeah, and then I discovered, Haibo, those challenges of thinking with the departments would give you money. Yeah, they do give you money, but I think sometimes they want you to actually do something before they recognize what you are doing. So that was the biggest challenge because I thought, you know what, the response is gonna be amazing, only to find out it wasn't. Yeah.
But siyathola ukuthi uqhubekile wabhala.
Yes.
Usudlulile kuwona lama challenges but waqhubeka wabhala.
Single at 34.
Yes,
Yes.
like your second book, Single at 34.
Still single, by the way.
Really?
At 37.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Can you just tell us about that book? What was the motive behind writing a single at 34? Because siyabona ukuthi it's a different stream from dismissing my excuses.
It's not so different because I do talk about relationships inside that book. You know the thing about me and relationships, even when you are talking about finances, I'll find a loop of talking about relationships. That's how I am. Yes, Abafana the boys. Hey. Yeah. So the thing about dismissing excuses, I grew up in church. You know how they are. We are boniswa and bekubuzo mama ukuthi ushada nini ngane yami. And you are getting old, you don't have children, amaqanda ayabola, and we had so much pressure from church, and it's really bothered me, you know, because I thought, like, was I born just to get married and have kids? There has to be something more, you know. Not that I don't like boys. I love boys a lot. But but I didn't want to be recognized because of being married and having kids. You know, I believe there's just so much more in life. And esontweni, they used to put a lot of pressure on us as if we're not good enough. More especially, usekhethiwe usibanibani, usekhethiwe, and wena awukakakhethwa. And uma ukhethwa umuntu obonayo ukuthi you know, yabo. So hence I wrote single at 34. Nje, I'm talking about that. So you don't have to rush. There is no age frame. You have to get married at this age. You have to have kids. You can decide not to have kids or not to get married. At the end of the day, you are still good enough. You are enough. Yeah.
And ngiyabuza lapho ukuthi ukhuluma ngomama basesontweni having great impact pressure.
Exactly.
So ngingathi uyibhala le ncwadi single at 34. Wawuyibhala because of what you were going through, or what uyibhala wa realize because no bakhona abanye abantu who are going through the same thing. Uthi ngibhale. So was it interpersonal or wawuthi nje I'm writing it for the public?
I would say I'm also an ambassador for people who can't speak for themselves. Okay, abanye bangibiza as a president of the singles or CEO. I'm not sure if I like that name because what's going to happen. But I was writing it based on my experiences and the experiences of others, because hence I said I grew up in church. So I know bonke school in abesontweni ngiyabazi abanye beshade, ngiyabazi abanye beze bedivorce ngingakashadi nokushada because abanye bashade because of pressure. Maybe bakubona uhamba nomfana in town, they would say, is he saying something? Does he want to marry you? He must come to church. Is he born again? And stuff like that. So there was a lot of pressure, you know, from church, from all mama. So I was speaking for all the girls.
Well, ngithanda ngoba phela uyabamela abantu besifazane.
Yes,
and
yes.
so when you step down, kuyaba khona uyithatha leyo role.
Yes, yes. Hopefully my sister.
Well, njengoba sesibonile ukuthi there are some challenges obhekane nawo uze uyibhale incwadi. Asibeke usuyibhalile ke manje incwadi usungenile kwi-industry wababhekana nama-challenges ungena kwi-industry. What are some of the challenges osabhekana nawo njengoba usukhona kwi-industry?
I think njengamanje I don't focus much on that, except ukuthi we are still waiting for amanyama department to actually purchase the books, because really that's what they should do. But other than that, I don't get a writer's block. If I want to write, I can just take my laptop and write. I can write about anything, anytime. I don't struggle with that. And secondly, I know that sometimes, okay, for abanye abantu, like friends and other people, well, sometimes they don't buy our books because we don't talk about our books. We don't post ngeencwadi zethu. I've discovered a lot of authors, but automatically people will come to them. They don't market their books. They can post anything else except for their books. They can post themselves having breakfast. They can post themselves being out with their friends, but they don't talk about their books. So I discovered a gap. We need to teach authors to do proper branding and marketing, and how to do sales, because business, book writing is business like any other business. It's just that Nina, when you buy my book, you support. We are trading. My experiences, my sleepless nights, and then when that's trading, that's business. And I think the challenges I had, I didn't take ukubhala as a business. I just took it as a hobby. But I don't blame myself because I love doing what I'm doing.
So yes, njengoba ukhuluma about selling.
Yeah.
Nokuthi the relationship that you have with abantu abathenga incwadi zakho nawe as umbhali.
Yeah.
So publishers benefit more than writers. How true is that?
Okay, there's self-publishing and there's traditional publishing. if when I just want to write a book and publish it, uzenzele wena, you are self-published. Mina, as a traditional publisher, I charge for publishing. Meaning, I do manuscript assessment for you, I do editing, proofreading, I do a cover design, page layout, I apply an ISBN on your behalf, but you still get a copyright because you paid me. And then there are publishers, like well-established publishers, like uyabazi lababa, but utolukuthi they give you royalties. Labo, you don't pay anything because they do literally everything for you, and then you earn by getting ama royalties. So for me, I charge you, and then after I charge you, if you make 500,000 afterwards, let's say I charged you 10,000, and then you make 500,000. Exactly, you know, you don't get any royalties from me because you do your own sales, your marketing and stuff like that. I just published and gave you a few copies so that you can just, you know, keep on making more copies and selling. That's what I do. So I don't think I benefit more than you. And then also, I don't think the well-established publishers benefit more than you because you don't do anything. They take your book and literally do everything for you, like everything, including branding, sales, everything. They just give you royalties. They plan your road trips. They do literally everything. They market you. They get you interviews. So I don't think they benefit more than you because I'm telling you, branding and marketing and sales, it's not a child's play.
So, njengoba wena uyi-author and a publisher, was that a strategic move? Why the industry and you were like, no, man, let me do both?
No, on my second book, the first book I published, it's from somebody else. And then I gathered, it was, this thing is simple. And then on my second book, I did self-publishing. And then I was like, okay, on my third book, I can also publish for people. This thing is easy and I'm enjoying it, you know, because I enjoy anything that has to do with literature. And then that was it. I didn't plan, you know, when I resigned, I only had one book in mind. I thought I was going to be a public speaker and then just that one book. And then, you know, that thing grew and then it came self-publishing.
So, siyabona ukuthi nje impela ukubhala into oyithandayo.
A lot.
Waze washiya military. So what type of a writer are you and what is your target market?
I would say I'm not sure about me being okay. When you say what type of a writer are you, what do you mean? Like as in, do I write non-fiction or fiction or well, I write self-help books. And that's non-fiction. But I'm currently busy with a fiction book. So I don't want to limit myself. I just want to try all genres and see. Even though I focus on non-fiction, but I just, you know, because I can write fiction books, you know. Fiction, it's just imagination, you know. So, yeah, I don't want to limit myself. Yeah, I don't. And my target market, anyone who's looking for hope, because I believe there is always hope and there is no hopeless situation. I believe in that. So even if I can write about heartbreaks or whatever that I went through, I'll always come up with a solution. I believe in healing. And I believe most of the things that happen to us, it's because we didn't love ourselves enough. We expect other people to love us and we can't even do that to ourselves.
Yes, in the beginning of our interview, you talk a lot about the dating, which seems to be a problem in Mzansi, and it is.
Yeah.
So you were in the army. Kona stereotypes so good. People about army or who are in the army. When it comes to umjolo. And siyabona futhi uzosibhalela ngo single 34. Manje thina somhlanganisa iphazini.
Emasosha nje kushadwe kanje. Most soldiers are married.
So inakudinga usicacise ukuthi wena did that have an impact?
No, emasosha nje ngiyashelwa.
Washa?
Oh. Like, it's a male-dominated industry. Like, you don't run out of guys who are asking you out. I think that was the nicest thing about being there.
What
It was so nice. Yes.
So would you go back?
Yeah, but not because of ukushelwa. Like I would maybe if I would do what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing. But I don't think ukuthi lento of writing about relationships came from my association. Mina, my heartbreaks came from church. Iy'nceku, the kick and boboza kind of guys. Yes, the tongue speaking and Holy Spirit filled guys. It came from there, because they would immediately come to you. God says you are my wife. And then Namika would go and pray. Nkulunkulu ukhulumi. Who am I to stand against God? Yabo. And then it came from there, only to find out ukuthi maybe the 5 of you from church are dating the same guy. He came with the same, I would say it's a pickup line. Yeah. Yeah. And then, I think my heartbreaks, they came from there because immediately when a guy from church came to you or comes to you, you would think Uguti is serious, only to find out Uguti is a crook. Yeah. And I get that Uguti, most women from church, they suffered the same fate. Uguti, this guy, nami ngithandana naye, nami uthola ukuthi athi angifuni futhi sijole. Ngifuna nje ukuthi sishade sinawe, you are my wife. Kodwa umfundisi, let's not tell him as yet. Yabo, ngisabeka imali or whatever the case may be. Yabo, only to find out what the guy is playing you.
So mbukele khaya ke nebagade okhikhe ibhoboza. Hayi okhikhe ibhoboza. Usahle nake unethi girl Mzansi. We're going to take a quick break. Then after the break so besasazi kabanzi ukuthi Miss Nelie Siwe. Benefits kanjani umphakathi? How does she empower umphakathi? So we'll see you straight after the break. You are still tuned in to Talk Back in Mzansi. And I am joined by the beautiful Nelie Shozana. Miss Nelie,
yes.
Before the break, we were talking about you.
Yeah.
Now we would like to get into our project going.
Okay.
So tingalana kwa Talk Back, we are all about empowering South Africans. And njengoba sikubizile ingoba siyabona ukuthi khona nawe indlela empowerisha ngayo abantu. So what does empowerment mean to you and why is it important?
For me, empowerment, I believe in teaching a man to fish, then giving a man a fish. I think we do that all the time, and you are not empowering that person, you're actually spoiling that person. So for me, what I usually do is I do give back to the community in terms of, let's say I get someone, I charge, okay, for book writing or for publishing a book. But I do get people, I see what's okay, this person is struggling or she doesn't have money to publish a book. And I see what's in it's actually a good book. And then I take that book, I publish for free. I do those projects maybe like 3 times or 4 times a year. It depends how busy I am. And it depends, I do that because every time when they come to me, and then I give them email, and then it means I'm spoiling them. Yeah, I believe in independence, and I believe empowerment means independence as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I don't like people depending on me. I hate that.
So you teach a man how to fish.
Exactly.
You do not give them the fish.
Yeah.
Word of the day. So yes, you are a very successful woman and congratulations on all your achievements. Like I say on a
yeah, it's not a child's play.
10 years.
Yeah.
So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
So tonight talk back when we empower abantu,
Yeah.
We want to see them successful and which we believe are successful. So what is your definition of success?
For me, waking up every day and doing something that I love, that is success, that fulfillment. There is nothing as nice as when a person comes with a book, just a manuscript, and then you turn it into a book, and, that's just success for me. And yeah, doing what you love. Exactly. It's priceless. It's something that's, because a lot of people, they are doing something that they don't love. They are there just because of money. Somebody asked me, Nguti, if I had all the money in the world, what would I choose to do? And then I said I would still do the same thing.
Which is to write.
Exactly.
Oh wow. So njengoba silana ke thina singathola ukuthi khona umbukele ekhaya. Also interested in writing. And izinto eziningi ziyafundelwa. So when ufundela kube yinto ekuwena or wahamba wayokufundela kwenzeka kanjani?
I actually studied psychology and I didn't use it. Okay, I use it in my writing because sometimes I think, okay, that was Nelie the psychologist speaking here. But yeah, because I believe that there's a reason behind every behavior. In most cases, people think that a person is behaving in a certain way just for control. No. Something is pushing that person to behave in a certain way. So hence I studied psychology. But for me, writing, I remember it was the 1st of December. Okay, I had written a book before. I took it to my pastor. It was 2011. It was a Christian book. And then I think during those days, people didn't really care much about reading and writing, even though maybe they cared about reading, but writing, and then I thought that was it. And then 2016, December 1, I remember I took my laptop, I started writing. I knew exactly what to write, what to say, how to structure the book. It was like the whole book was just coming through, and that was it. And then from there on, I knew that I was an author. It was like an enlightenment. And then I knew, and then I remember I called my friend. I said, who's the publisher that I can take my book to? And then that was it. I took it to the publisher. I knew that, I didn't even know how I knew about publishing, but I knew that I had to publish my book. So I didn't go to school for this thing. I didn't study it. It's just a gift.
So umoshanga skhathi wathi ubona ukuthi unaso lesiphiwo lesokubhala and you were like, I'm going for it.
And I would say maybe because I'm a reader. Singathi sihamba nje, anything that's written nje uzobona sengiyafunda. I would say I learned my writing from reading, because I could differentiate the types of genres on a book. Even when I watch movies, I don't just watch a movie. Kunama script lapha. Hey, this one is well written. Yeah, but it's not just wonder movie lama Chinese qala kube kuyadliwa. Awazi ukuthi kwenzakaleni uthi ikephi content la. Yeah, also, yeah.
Well, as an African writer, okuyona le industry yokubhala, siyabona ukuthi incwadi zesiZulu ave seyincipha. So mekukhona umbukele ekhaya osabhala incwadi zesiZulu kodwa methi ebuka industry abona ukuthi no kudominate isingisi kakhulu, ungathini nje kuyena umbukeli?
Angasabi, we do need incwadi zesiZulu. Futhi art and culture, municipal libraries, they encourage people to write in their own languages. And well, into mina ngiyiplanile because I write in English, ukuthi ngitranslate all my books in isiZulu, because there is a target market out there, and it's wrong ukuthi ulimi lwethu luze liyaphuma, and yeah, I've translated my first book and I'm still going to translate the rest, because that's my plan ukuthi at the end of the day ngumZulu. Yeah, but I cannot run away from that. Even if there is no target market, who knows in the near future ukuthi izukulwane zethu sho ukuthi nje zizobe zingazi lutho ngolimi lwethu, yabo. Yeah.
So ngiyathanda ukuthi you remember ukuthi umZulu and kungasiza abantu abaningi, translating.
Yes.
And I can't wait ukuthi sibone leyo project iphumelele. And speaking of projects, the book Behind Awards. Can you talk about that? Tell us about it. Can you talk about this project? What inspired
this baby?
This baby?
Yeah, the book Behind Awards.
Yes.
uyayizwa now the book behind. We are talking about the inspiration, about the book behind, because people normally ask you, how long does it take you to write a book? Do you get a writer's blog? Do you make money out of this? You know, all those kind of questions. People are actually interested on the book behind more than the actual book. You know, and they're more interested on the book behind. No, I'm talking about this book. That's no. We want to know about your journey. So this project started. Yes, we are encouraged to read and write, but we are not celebrated. You know, we felt we need to celebrate others. We need to acknowledge them. We can see what you are doing, and you are doing an amazing job, because these people, we are documenting history, you know, and more check a library. Kuney'ncwadi zabantu that we can't relate to. Kugcwele iy'ncwadi za-overseas. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's high time ukuthi iy'ngane zethu ney'ngane zey'ngane zethu or abantu nje bafunde ngathi, something that you can relate kuyona, yabona.
So siyabona ukuthi you've achieved a lot.
Thank you.
You've achieved a lot and you've done great things. So what has been your biggest achievements? Kuzo zonke izinto osuzenzile. Muthi mabuka uthi but that. What has been your biggest achievement?
In terms of writing?
In terms of writing.
I would say to actually write and publish my first book. Because I know a lot of people, they despise small beginnings, you know. I don't, because I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't because of dismissing excuses. Yes. Everything grew from there, you know, taking the step of resigning at work, writing that book, publishing it, because that's where my public speaking developed, you know, because I used to get invited. People would ask me to talk about my book. So from there, I would say that book was a foundation of everything. So even this biggest project that I'm doing right now, the book behind awards, it all came there from the first book. And you'd be so surprised, Uguti, even my relationship with the people from eThekwini municipal libraries, it developed from there, you know. And one thing I would say about myself, Uguti, I speak my mind, even for my books. At first, from church, they couldn't understand why I speak like that, because you're a Christian. But these are the things that we are going through. And why do we have to shy away from these things? Because we go through this stuff. So I would say my first book, Dismissing Excuses.
Oh, wow. And yazi umuntu mekubuka angathi you have it all figured out. Angathi mekubuka athi nje azikho inkinga obhekana nazo, because babona usmile babona iy'ncwadi ziyaphuma abazi ama-challenges obhekana nayo. So can you just tell us what keeps you motivated? Uthi usubhekana nawo lama-challenges but uqhubeke. What keeps you motivated?
I think I have this mentality of things will always get better. I wonder where you are now, it will get better. And I have this thing, like, because I work with service providers, I'm just going to make an example. Let's say I have this service provider. He's the best service provider anyone could ever ask for. But, and then maybe it's not a fight. Maybe the business doesn't work out, and then you'd feel sad. What am I going to do? And stuff like that. But after a while, not even a while, and then you get even a better service provider. And then that taught me something in life. There's something in someone who's always better. That not that we don't appreciate the people that we have or the situation that we are in, you know, you embrace whatever that you are going through. But the best is yet to come. I always believe there are so many good things in store for me. So I cannot focus on one bad thing or two bad things that are happening. I have so much to be grateful for.
And you're a life coach.
Yes.
You're a life coach. And njengoba uyi-life coach, usudlule into eningi kangaka, khona umuntu who's looking up to you.
I think so. Yeah.
So what message would you give to your younger self? Njengoba usudlule kuzo zonke lezi zinto osudlule kuzona, what message would you give to your younger self?
Okay, sorry about that. I would say any person, okay, there's this thing, sometimes I let's say I'm going through something, like I was planning this event, the book behind. So what happened was, this looting and, this lockdown, like, we had no idea what was happening and it was so confusing. But I've learned one thing, ukuthi isikhathi esiningi abantu bafuna si-acte sengazuthi izinto azenzeki zibe zenzeka. Uyibone leyo nto ukuthi you know what, vele uyizibe. No, ungayizibi. Embrace uncertainty. Ngifundile leyo nto ukuthi right now we have no idea what is happening and what is going to happen. And we have to embrace that because this is the period esikuyona. So maybe right now umuntu osekhaya akazi ukuthi kwenzakalani, akazi noma uzoyithola imali yokubuyela esikoleni noma aka-embrace because yonke into esidlula kuyona iyi-process. You don't have to go around whatever that you are going through and you don't have to go above. You have to go through whatever, allow to go through into. Ngiyayizi le generation yethu ithi asikhali. Ithi nje noma ungahamba ngeke ngilile. That's the thing. That's why we struggle so much because we don't allow ourselves to go through things. We don't allow izinto lezo ukuthi khala makuthi khala uhleke ujabule. Mina I believe ukuthi emotions and feelings were there for a reason to be expressed. If ungihethile, if ungidiniwe, I'm angry, there's nothing wrong with that. Ama emotions that needs to be embraced. Even nalento uncertain, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So kuma out senze nje sathula abantu basibuza nini ama out siyabona kusanda kuluthwa kwenziwa yonke lento akufanele be ngoSeptember. And then what we did was embrace uncertainty ukuthi right now president akhulumile asazi kwenzakalani. We embrace that and mase siza ukuthi we are okay. Saqala sasetha a new date. Usangaba overwhelm abantu besifuna bakhalele ukuthi there was looting. People had lost a lot of things. People had lost jobs. We wanted them to embrace that. Bengashayi ngathi akwenzakalile sesoba overwhelm about something else. So I would say whatever efikayo empilweni yethu, if idinga ukuthi ukhale khala, if it needs you to grieve, makufanele uyi-celebrate ujabule jabula, yabo. And makufanele embrace uncertainty. Right now, I have no idea what ngenze njani. Embrace that. It's there for a reason.
So, Mbugelekhaya, it's important to embrace uncertainty and allow yourself to go through the process. We're going to take a quick short break, and after the break, we'll get to know Usiswethu on a more personal level, on a more kind of game, just to get to know her better. So go check out all our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook as Talkback Mzansi. You can find us on Instagram at Talkback_Mzansi. You can just send us an email, talkbackmzansi@gmail.com. Don't forget to watch all our interviews on YouTube at Yebo TV. Umeti girl Jersey. I am joined by the lovely Nelie Shozana. So before the break, just to get to know you better. Because njengoba ngilana mina ngimela ama-fans akho, ngimela izinto abafisa ukukubuza zona abangakwazi ukubuza zona, sizokubuza ke la ekhaya.
Okay.
So lana ke we have a set of questions. Uzongikhiphela 5 unginike wona and iwona sizokwazi kangconyana ngawo.
Okay.
Okay.
Ngiwakhiphe kanye kanye?
Yes, ngakhipha nje 1 2 3 4 and 5. Kaze uqhaqhazelelana.
People are afraid of things that are novel.
So, umbuzo wethu oqala. What is the best compliment you have ever received?
Oh, hey, that's one.
And from who?
No, ukuthi you are so kind. Ngiyathanda abantu mabethi ngenhliziyo enhle. It was from a guy. Ukuthi isikhathi esiningi amantombazana afuna unconya ukuthi mahle abakushile and stuff like that. But it's so nice when people notice inner beauty. And even though ngingathanda ukuthi ngithanda umoya wakhe, ngiwathandi lawo, but it was so nice ukuthi nje athi umuntu Nelie, you are so kind. Yes, I love that.
Yes, Nelie, you are so kind. Well, our second question. It's choose one from the 3. Ozosenzela wona njengama.
Hayibo ma.
Sing a song, recite a poem, or do a trending dance move.
Ayokudansa out.
So usalela ukusiculela iculo.
I'll recite a poem. Ish. Kade ngagcina nokubhala ama-poems. Shuthi kusela ukucula ke. Kombili phinje iculo ngilazi. I listen to music but not like my sister.
It's a tough one. Noma othi ngenze kube lula, iliphi iculo ongasiculela lona elichaza where you are njengamanje empilweni?
Angwazi ama lyrics akhona, but lelithi you gonna hear me roar.
La ungazi khona usothi nanani ngana. Athula sidinga usiculelile. So ungacula nje uculele lapho umlaleli ekhaya.
Na 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 na. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh.
No, sitholile umbukelo ngayithola iculo. Uroar Katy Perry. Well, siyabonga khona sikuzwile uroar.
Yes, uroar.
So, our third question. Which two celebrities you wouldn't mind going on a date with?
Trevor Noah. And ubanje angakho ayikuthi angwakhonzile but ubanje koma ngichaza omunye ngumasele uTrevor ngoba uyahlekisa ngiyabathanda abantu abahlekisayo because ngiyaenjoy ukuhleka and okay uDuduzane used to be my crush kushuthi sengingafaka yena is my ex crush sengingamfaka kodwa uTrevor yeah
Trevor Noah
yes
bese siyibuka le interview what she wouldn't mind going on a date with
Trevor yeah
no not Duduzane
yeah ukuthi angimazi uQuincy igama lakhe la ngempela lo wayedlala kwiScandal
i-choice yakho inzima kakhulu but mina ngingathanda ukuthi uhambe noDuduzane khona uzomchazela why ese ex crush
ama-crush amika awalast ungangigcina kungonakelela ukuthi ungangigcina ngine-crush nje siphelile well that's what crushes are for
but uTrevor kayindawo
hayi uTrevor he's a straight crush
yes
yes.
So our fourth question, what is your most embarrassing childhood moment?
Yo khona igame esasidlala I don't know what it's called in English isigunqu yabona ukuthi umit amasele mawudliwe so bangithiza biloko bengithinta eswini bathi ngimithi amasele like amasele out of everything ngagula yezwa I got sick ngoba you know okokuqala sazi ukuthi ingane iqhamuka ebhanoyini secondly I had no intimacy with any guy like bethu ngangiyingane nje ngingazilutho ngibabalekela abafana the next thing sengimitha amasele the next thing somebody to meet indlovu noma meet oqhamu yo I cried ngagula I remember kwaku 50 degrees kulezo insuku kwakushisa eMaritzburg yashisa angifaka yabo khumula ama jackets okuthiwa ama subside ngihlale ngibathi manje that was the last time ngicina ukudlala ama game yeah
Nene sudlale manje usigunku khona sizosusa le memory embi kaSigunku
but abaye ukuthi simitha amasele
manje kusazwela
oh no ngiyasho nje uSigunku why ningamithisa abantu amasele like uyalazisela njani
but kwakuyi childhood
yes sengiyawadlala ama game
awusanankinga
ayanginankinga
okay well our last question Iti, what is the dumbest way you've been injured or you've injured yourself?
Nila abantu ababuka ridiculousness.
I
don't watch that. Yiphi angizenza izinto I'm a risk taker but angiyenzi nje into engibona ngathi ukuthi ngangilimazi like my brother mhlambe my brother walimala wabuthatha uthayela bayadlala umshubuluzo wama ngothayela kanti uthayela uzophakama washayeka lapho eshayeke etsheni so I ran away from those games like any nje angena umuntu olimalayo like
ukuthi fresh
guy kuwukulimala nje mhlawumbe kokuwa you know and you'd be so surprised ukuthi angikwazi ukugibela ibhayisikili ngoba ngisaba ukuwa but I have to learn
risk taker inama limits
like yeah especially into obona ukuthi bayawa bayalimala I'm not gonna do that
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Nelie Shozana. We've sadly
Thank you.
come to the end of our interview. It was
Oh, that's so
nice. I had a
sad.
very, very good time.
Me too.
Ngiyajabula kakhulu ukuthi ukwazile ukuba nathi.
Thank
So
you for
kubukeli
having me.
esekhaya ofuna ukwazi kabanzi ngawo usefuna ukukulandela ngathulaphi kwama social media platforms.
Nelie Shozana kudona ku both on Insta na ku Facebook, and then kuma page ami the publishing company IE Publishers ku Instagram, and then ku Facebook it's Intentionally Elegant, and then bafollow ishe kakhulu the Book Behind Awards on all social media platforms. Yeah.
Mbogeli, don't forget to follow kakhulu the Book Behind Awards. Uyakwazi ukusithola nathi like haya iTalkback Mzansi khona lapha ku Facebook as Talkback Mzansi. You can also find us on Instagram as Talkback_Mzansi, or you can just send us an email. Abesiphendula ke sinjalo talkbackmzansi@gmail.com. Be sure to check out all our interviews on YouTube at Yebo TV. You can also follow your host Methi Girl Majozi on Facebook as Methi Girl Majozi. You can also find me on Instagram as Methi_Girl_Majozi. Miss Nelie Shozana, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So until next time, goodbye.
Bye.